Just because of season 1, One Punch Man will always be one of my favorite animes of all time. And most of the things I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be about season 1. And I just want to talk about all the things that I found interesting and all the little details that I liked about it. So the first thing I want to talk about is Saitama's apartment. So in one of the episodes, in season 1, Spring Mustachio, I don't know how to say his name. He mentioned that water and electricity is still running in the ghost town in City Z. And that's really interesting because it's an abandoned part of the city and the utilities are still running. And a theory that I came across on Reddit that I really like is that the Monster Association was keeping those running for their own underground base. And I don't know, I really like that. It's funny. Another fun little thing. Do you guys remember in season 1, second or third episode? I don't remember. But there was this, was it like a praying mantis monster? He was from the House of Evolution and he basically broke the ceiling of Saitama's apartment. And I was always really curious, like, how did he continue staying in that apartment after his ceiling was broken? And I saw on the subreddit, somebody said Saitama moved to the upper floor, which makes so much sense because since it's an apartment, the layout of each floor is probably pretty similar, so the layout of his apartment is also pretty much the same. And that just makes sense to me. I also find it really interesting the size of Saitama's apartment. Like, it's really small and it's just fun to think about when a lot of the other characters are visiting his home and how they're all squeezed into his small apartment. I don't know, just I'm just a big One Punch Man fan. Okay, I also found this panel drew by Murata on the subreddit and it's just so cute. Like, here you can see the praying mantis monster being punched here, and I believe this part of the ceiling was broken, and his kitchen is here and the bathroom and the front hallway. It's just so cool. Also, continuing on, there's just a lot of cool connections. My vocabulary is lacking here, but I'm sure a lot of people already know this, but it's implied that Saitama was the reason that the Hero Association was created in the first place. And it's just fun to see a lot of things in the world in One Punch Man being connected to Saitama, with a lot of the other heroes as well. He was part of their stories, like with King and when the group of heroes were trying to fight Tagaro, like one of the B-rank heroes. And it's cool to see how Saitama changes some of the characters with the villains and stuff, like Hammerhead and Genas and Sonic. It's just cool. It's cool to see the side characters coming back. Also, Sonic is so funny. He's one of my favorite characters in the show. He's just so funny. Another cool detail that I really liked was in Saitama's dream in season 1 when he was fighting the Subterranean King. Is that how you say the word? But anyways, there was a scene they showed that resembled his heartbeat because, you know, he's so strong that there's no fight that makes him feel anything anymore. But in his dream, he was able to have a good fight and you could see his heartbeat. And then, during his fight with Boros, you can also see Boros' heartbeat because Boros was pretty much saying the same thing. He was saying that he was, you know, traveling these different planets because he wanted to find the person in the prophecy where he would meet someone that was able to take on a fight with him because he was so strong in outer space. And Saitama kind of satisfied that for him and he had a good fight. And that's just cool. And other fun things that I really like are the Japanese words in the anime also have humor behind them. For example, on Genos' hero application, what he put for the reason for becoming a hero is that he wants to become a disciple. I just really like these little details. Here, I put it into ChatGPT and this is his application and it has special skill, incineration, and self-destruction permitted only when absolutely necessary. And this, reason for applying to become a disciple. And there was also the writing, like Genos's notes on Saitama's, like reading postures and all that. Like, I don't think you need a translation to get that, but it's funny. Oh, right, and if you haven't watched like the special episodes, I definitely recommend them because they're really funny. And also, they give you more context. Like, there's an episode on Genos stalking Saitama to figure out what the source of his power was, and the timeline of that was before he knocked on his door to ask to be his disciple. Yeah, it just gives you more context and background, and it's fun to watch. Honestly, the dynamic between Saitama and Genos is just so funny. Also, in the fight of Saitama versus Genos, in the end when Genos turns around to look at the impact of Saitama's punch, you can literally see it going all the way back to the other cliff, and that was something I missed until I rewatched it a couple times. Anyways, it's just cool. Also, this was something that I literally just discovered, but I didn't know that Dr. Kuseno's hair, I didn't know that was his hair. I thought he was wearing something on his head. I thought that was like a helmet or something. I don't know why I didn't realize that it was his hair, but that's interesting. I also find it really funny that you can eat the monsters in One Punch Man. It makes sense though. Oh, I also really like that the quote-unquote lessons or advice that Saitama gives Genos are supposed to be a joke, like he just makes them up on the spot, but like it actually makes sense, If you took his advice seriously, it's not a bad thing. Like, he tells Genos to train his mind instead of his physical body, and that makes sense because Genos is a cyborg and he can't really do anything with training his physical body, And another thing I really like about One Punch Man is just the lightheartedness. Like with the monsters, there's no deep and crazy sad backstories. They're all very just funny. Like, we have the crab guy that turned into a monster because he ate too much crab, and the bird monster, I don't remember what it's called, but he couldn't take off his costume, so he turned into a monster. It's just funny. And also, all the side characters, I feel like they're all interesting and they don't get tossed aside. Like, they keep coming back and we get to see them in action, like with the C rank heroes and the B rank heroes, and even the side villains like Genus and the gorilla. It's just cool to see them coming back and see them being actually part of the world, like the tank top gang. They're so funny. There's just so many things that are fun about this anime. Also, just like all the heroes in One Punch Man, I feel like they're all really interesting, and they all have their own distinct personalities, Like the S-class heroes, I actually like all of them. Like, all of the characters that are shown have a purpose on screen. Another reason why I really like One Punch Man is because even though it's a really funny and comedic and lighthearted show, it still has those moments that are really meaningful, like with Moomin Rider and Saitama painting himself as someone that steals other heroes' credit just so that other heroes get the credit. There's a lot of these really great moments that are very heartwarming. Also, I know that season 3 has been a disappointment, but also all of the memes about it are so funny. But there's literally a Garo sliding simulator. Anyways, that's all I have. I'm just a person that likes anime, and I really like One Punch Man, and I want to talk about it.